Right now, there's a single sentence racing across WhatsApp groups, Facebook pages, X timelines, and street gossip like wildfire. A sentence that sounds almost too good to be true. Good news for Danu, released soon. The moment you see it, your heart jumps. For many people in the southeast, and far beyond, it feels like the answer to years of waiting, anger, hope, and frustration. But here's the thing, when a headline spreads this fast, emotion usually arrives long before facts. And today, we're slowing everything down to ask the uncomfortable question most people are avoiding: is this actually true, or are people reading hope where none has officially been given yet? The timing of this rumor is not accidental. As of today, Tuesday, February 3, 2026, the atmosphere in the southeast is tense, electric, and emotionally charged. Just yesterday, Monday, February 2nd, something major happened. Streets went silent. Markets locked up. Transport vanished. Economic hubs, especially places like Onicha, were practically frozen. Another massive sit-at-home, widely obeyed, widely felt. And the message behind it was loud even without words: Danu still commands loyalty. That single action reignited everything. Old debates. Old fears in government circles. And fresh speculation that maybe, just maybe, the federal government is beginning to feel cornered. That's where the good news talk really started. But before we let excitement carry us away, we have to rewind just a bit, back to what actually happened in court. Barely a week ago, on Tuesday, January 27, 2026, Danu appeared in the news again. And no, it wasn't the breakthrough people were praying for. He was before the Federal High Court in Abuja, not for freedom, but for something far more basic: a transfer request. Since his conviction in November 2025, he has been held at the Sooto Correctional Facility, far from Abuja, far from consistent access to his legal team, and far from family. His request was simple: move him closer so his appeal process could realistically move forward. What happened next shocked many observers. The court, led by Justice James Omo, struck out the motion entirely. The reason? Technical, but deadly. The judge ruled that there was no proof the government had been properly served. Case paused. Door shut. Then came the moment that made headlines for all the wrong reasons. His lawyer from the Legal Aid Council, Nnamdi Hassan, stood up in open court and withdrew from the case. Just like that. He told the judge that Danu was dictating proceedings and refusing to follow legal advice. Imagine that for a second. In the middle of a battle this serious, your own lawyer walks away. That alone tells you how deep, messy, and critical this situation has become. So legally speaking, nothing improved. If anything, things got more complicated. Which brings us back to the burning question: where exactly is this good news coming from? It's not coming from the courts. It's coming from the streets. Yesterday's sit-at-home wasn't just protest, it was a referendum. A silent vote. And many political watchers believe it sent a message that Abuja cannot ignore. Despite a life imprisonment sentence. Despite distance. Despite court rulings. Danu still holds influence that governors, security agencies, and political appointees simply do not. This is where whispers begin. Unconfirmed, yes, but persistent. The talk is that Southeast governors are now in quiet, frantic conversations with Abuja. Behind closed doors. No cameras. No press releases. Just blunt reality. The alleged message is simple: we've tried force. We've tried law. Yesterday proved the people didn't listen to us, they listened to him. If this continues, the region remains ungovernable. That's the seed of hope people are clinging to. Not a legal release, but a political one. Something similar to what eventually happened with Sunday Igbo. The idea that the president might decide peace is cheaper than pride. And to be clear, this is where the story gets tricky. As of this morning, there is no official statement from the presidency. None from the Ministry of Justice. None from the Nigerian Correctional Service. Danu is still in Sooto. The court ruling still stands. Nothing has changed on paper. What exists right now is pressure, not permission. Possibility, not confirmation. That's why it's dangerous to confuse momentum with reality. And this is where you come in. Because this conversation isn't complete without the public voice. Do you honestly think the federal government will read the message written on the empty streets of Onicha and choose a political release? Or do you think they'll double down, ignore the pressure, and keep him in Sooto regardless of the consequences? Drop your thoughts in the comments. This debate is bigger than headlines. Now, let's talk about the so-called political solution everyone keeps mentioning. Voices like Kenneth Okonkwo have been relentless on this point. Their argument is straightforward: the judiciary has done what it can, but the executive still holds one powerful card, the prerogative of mercy. The Constitution allows the president to pardon or release. That authority exists. That's where hope lives. But there's a new complication nobody wants to talk about loudly. Governor Soludo. The tension between IPOB and the Anambra state government has escalated. Soludo reportedly feels undermined, embarrassed, even challenged. And politics has ego. If regional governors believe releasing Nnamdi will make them look weak or irrelevant, some of them might quietly oppose it, even while pretending to support peace publicly. At the heart of all this is a raw power struggle. Who truly controls the Southeast? The men in government houses, or the man in a prison cell hundreds of kilometers away? Add to that IPOB's recent statement through spokesperson Emma Powerful, making it clear that the sit at home was not a plea. It was a demand. And history shows that Nigerian governments rarely respond well to demands. They prefer negotiations, quiet deals, back-channel talks. So when you strip away the hype, a more honest headline emerges. Not released soon, but pressure is building fast. President Tinubu now holds the final move. He can choose de-escalation and political compromise, or he can stand firmly behind the court judgment and risk deeper instability in the region. Either way, the events of February 2026 have made one thing undeniable: this story is far from over. Nnamdi may be behind bars, but his shadow stretches across markets, schools, highways, and homes throughout the Southeast. And whether the government likes it or not, that reality isn't going away anytime soon. We'll keep our ears to the ground. If there's even a whisper, just a whisper, of a release order, you'll hear it here first.